should always be a way. There's always a way out. It's time for you to start to have gratitude in your life. I believe that, God can give you new dreams. There is no shame in looking for help. The last thing you want to do is to let your habit of negativity become your character. Hey everyone, it's me, sarahxmiracle, your miracle mom, and today we're going to talk about how to deal with negativity. So in our previous episode, we talked about how to deal with toxic people, and of which one of them was the negative person, the person who drains up all your energy because they're talking about their problems all the time. Now, what happens if you are that person? If you are the person who is the one complaining all the time, you can't figure out why your work is not going well, your studies not going well, your relationships are not going well. You just have this general sense that nothing is working out for you. I just want to share with you how I think about things. It might help you to hear the perspective of someone who is generally more optimistic and positive. My perspective is that there should always be a way. There's always a way out. So if you feel like you're stuck in a situation, you feel like you're trapped, you feel like there's no way out. For example, a course that I don't like, I picked this course for uni or poly and I don't like it, I just feel there's no way out. That is not true. There is always a way out. It's just a matter of what is the consequence after that. So if you pick the course you don't like, do you have the courage to say that I'm going to take this first 6 months as learning time, but I'm going to request for a change of course? Or I'm even going to withdraw because I found a better course or another route that I feel genuinely made me happier in life. For example, if you're in a job and you feel like this job it's not exactly the most fulfilling, can you reframe your job? Can you go talk to your boss and tell your boss I'm not really satisfied with the work I'm doing right now? It could be because every day I'm doing things that are not meaningful to me, they're not using my talents. There could be many reasons why you're in a job that doesn't feel good, right? So there must be a way out. It starts with you assessing what really makes you unhappy, really listing it down, and then charting out, okay, then what will be the alternative? Instead of wallowing in your negativity, there must always be a positive course of action that you can take. Okay, so that's the first thing I would encourage you to do. The second thing I want to say is about how you deal with your friends and your relationships around you. Because as we said in the toxic people video, you might be the person who is literally complaining and just being super negative and bringing a negative energy wherever you go. Over time, you'll find yourself being less invited to social gatherings because people don't want your negative energy. You'll find yourself being more isolated because your negativity is not attracting positive friends to you. And we don't want you to be in that space, right? So if you're feeling that way already, it's time to make a change. It's time for you to start to have gratitude in your life for the things you already have, rather than keep feeling like there's never enough or you're not in a good space. It's not easy to say, okay, I'm going to give thanks for what is already in my life. But if you can try to even have 1 or 2 things that you're grateful for every day, it has been shown in clinical studies for those who are depressed that gratitude is one of the few things that can actually help people to come out of depression. Simple things to be grateful for. Number 1, you're grateful that you are alive. You're grateful that you have the time in this world to make a difference to those around you. You're grateful that you have a place to sleep, food to eat. You're grateful that you have friends who care, a family. And even if none of this is perfect, you must find something about it, because all you need is that one silver lining for different aspects of your life. You don't have to have everything perfect in life. In fact, there is no way we can have a perfect life. I mean, even for me, people can say oh yeah, after you decide to keep your daughter, everything turned out well for you, blah, 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 blah. But I've had to give up on so many opportunities and made sacrifices just to be where I am. I could not lead a perfect life after deciding that I'm going to be a mom. I mean, my life is so full of things that I have to do, not because I want to do them, but because I have decided that I will take the responsibility to be a mom, right? And to be somebody that's in charge of little children and babies who are, now one is a teenager lah. But I wish that I could have gone overseas to study. That was one of my dreams. I had to give that up. But you see, instead of being negative and say, yeah, you see lah, now that I decide to keep my daughter, I never get to go overseas and study anymore. My life sucks. Look at all my friends. They all went overseas to study. They all go for exchange program and then I never go. I'm stuck here in Singapore. Can you imagine if I took all that negative thoughts and I let it sit on me? Can you imagine how depressed I would be? Because I'm constantly comparing to my other friends of what they got to do and not realizing that my situation is unique. My decisions were unique and that I have a responsibility that I chose and I decide to own. So I just share my personal experience because I'm giving you an example. If I had chosen to let all that negativity about my situation weigh me down, then how am I going to move forward in life? You'll feel very trapped. Instead, I have to be like, I choose to be grateful that I have a beautiful daughter. I choose to be grateful that I'm in a good local university. I was in NUS. I choose to be grateful that I was even awarded a scholarship. I choose to be grateful that my parents are so supportive of me. I choose to be grateful that I have help with my family. I'm not alone. I choose to be grateful that I have a husband who loves me. Yes, there's that negative part that I never got to do that. But then there's a whole other part that I must look at, and I can choose to say that I'm so grateful. This is the decision and the life that I chose, and so I want to be grateful for this part, even though this part, I will never get it back. And it's not as if I'm crying about it. I believe that, God can give you new dreams. My previous dream of saying I want to go overseas and study all that was my 18-year-old dream. There are bigger and better dreams that will come for you. If you feel like you are not able to achieve a previous milestone or a previous thought that you have. So don't give up. Don't think that just because you didn't get to do something or achieve something in life that you won't have something better in store for you. Gratitude opens your mind to the possibilities instead of focusing on the things that are no longer possible or things that, because of circumstance, you're not able to have. So instead of focusing on all those I can't haves, I don't haves, we focus on the things that we do have and the things that we have chosen to have. I think one final point about negativity is that if you do find yourself really towards depression and you're not functioning, I really encourage you to seek help, proper help. Speak to a counselor. Don't load it on your friends. Find a school counselor, get a professional counselor. It is worth that money and that time because you need someone to help you to talk through your thought processes. If you're that negative, right, your friends cannot help you. They're not trained. Go and speak to a counselor. At least do a couple of sessions so that you can have the real help that you need. There is no shame in looking for help. In fact, the more aware you are that you need help and the more you open yourself up to people to help you and to receive help, the faster you get out of it. For example, if you recognize that you're super negative all the time, ask your best friend or your closest friend, say, hey, I know I've been just super negative about everything and I'm really not in a good space. I've been complaining about everything. Can you just remind me and be accountable every single time I do that? Can you just nudge me and say hey, negative, don't be so negative, so that I'm reminded and I'm not letting it become an unconscious part of who I am. The last thing you want to do is to let your habit of negativity become your character. You don't want to have a negative character as you grow up. You want to attract positivity, gratefulness, and hope in your life. So the moment you recognize that this is happening, stop yourself. Find reasons every day to be grateful, okay? So I just want to leave that thought with you. I hope that helped you. That was how to deal with negativity. We are doing a series on how to deal with random things. So for example, the next thing we're going to do is about anxiety, which I also dealt with last year. It's going to be really helpful. I hope you subscribe, you turn on the notifications because this will be a weekly series for a while now. I hope we get to cover maybe 10 topics. And if you have thoughts on other topics you want me to cover, you can leave a comment below and we'll be really happy to comment. And if you want to be anonymous, you can also send me a DM on Instagram and I will never say who you are, but you can just share your problem and the stuff you're going through. And yeah, and me, your miracle mom, we can talk about it and hopefully it helps you, okay? So till the next episode, I hope you subscribe. I'm sarahxmiracle, your miracle mom. Oh, I think it's because my mic's here. Yeah. Keiko! Keiko, come here. Sit. Sit. Lie down. I know, but I don't have to move and make noise. Down. Down.